Hello and welcome back to Rolly's Wheels. Today we're sitting in an XJR. It's a 2002 model year, British Racing Green, and this one is my own vehicle. It's just under 400 brake horsepower, so it's got a bit of oomph. It's the supercharged version being the XJR. It's so smooth, it's quiet, and it's a real joy to drive. What I like about the vehicle is there's a lot of wood and leather. As you can see, we've got the wooden steering wheel, we've got the lovely walnut dash. Walnut dash, that's proper walnut, it's not plastic or imitation, it's actually handmade walnut. Very nice finish. And the vehicle has it all the way down on the centre console, which is a very nice touch. We've even got the walnut gear selector knob as well, which finishes it all off. It's all wood, it's very beautiful. Obviously it's leather, and the colour scheme inside this vehicle is sable and oatmeal, so there's a slight two-tone colour between what's on the top of the door and the side panels on the door, and the leather and the dash and so on. So there's two particular types of colour scheme there, which is very nice. The car accelerates from 0 to 60 in 5.2 seconds, so it is quite quick, and you can hear when you put your foot down, you can hear the supercharged engine, you can see it, you can hear that Garrett supercharger kick in. So if you just, I don't know whether you can hear it, but when I put my foot down you probably will. So we'll just see what you can hear. Just wait a second. You just hear that lovely whine of the supercharger. It's so effortless. You just cruise along and it's no effort at all. No strain or stress to the driver travelling distance. It's very comfortable. The seats are very, very comfortable as well. Jaguar knew how to develop seats that provided the support to the side of your body when cornering and so on. It's not overdone. They don't look like a Recaro style seat, although the bolstering is just as good as the Recaro style when you feel it. It's got heated seats, it's got lumbar support, and it's adjustable lumbar support, electrically adjustable, with switches down on the right hand side of my seat. On this particular vehicle, it's British Racing Green. It's a very nice solid green colour. It's not metallic, but it's a solid paint, but it shines very well, and it comes over in different lights. It can look a slight black colour in dark lights, and then when the sun's shining on it, the green actually illuminates, so it's very beautiful. So running over a few of the items in the car, you can see that all the switchgear here, to some people it looks rather complicated, but in actual fact it's not complicated at all. Jaguar have laid out all the switches in a simple fashion so that obviously it doesn't distract from when you're driving. Simple things, obviously. The left hand top button here is for the central locking, which you can manually push that button to lock the car. Next you've got a button here which is called the Valet Button. It's a button which is there for when you take the car for a car wash, you have it valeted. You get a special key which is green in colour. You hand that to the valeter and you can lock whatever private goods you've got in the boot. And that green key that they have will not allow them into the boot until you unlock the Valet Button. But you need to do that by having the black headed key, which is a very good feature. You've got two buttons on this dashboard here. It's the passenger electric heated seats, the driving heated seats. You've got the traction control button, so you can take off the traction control and have a little bit of fun. You can throw this thing round sideways, believe it or not. It's just over 2 ton in weight, but it's a very agile vehicle. It certainly doesn't feel 2 ton in weight at all. It drives very smoothly and it drives very, very quick. So the rest of the entertainment system here, you've got the air conditioning here, which is a fan button. You've got the recycle button here. You've got this is the temperature outside and in. So you just press the X button and it gives it the temperature outside and it gives the temperature in. After a couple of seconds it reverts back to the temperature inside the vehicle. Obviously you've got hot and cold settings. You've got the rear heated screen and the front heated screen, because this actually, I don't suppose you'll be able to see, there's a fine element in the windscreen at the front, so it's very useful in winter when you've got plenty of frost down on the car and you just press the button and obviously it heats that windscreen up and it just clears it very, very effortlessly. You've got a defrost button there. It's all the buttons very easy to understand. You've got the face vent button. You can bring the air up to your face. You can switch it to your face and to your legs, or just to your legs, and then down again to the windscreen and legs. It's all very simple to understand. This area here is the radio and CD player and cassette player. Obviously we're not supplying cassette players anymore in vehicles, but in that time, you know, you had that facility, and there's a cassette in mine here which I still listen to. But we've got a CD auto changer in the boot, so we've got 6 CDs in an auto changer stashed to one side inside the boot, which is quite easy. And you can work all this off the steering wheel as well, so all your controls here, you've got the volume up, volume down. You can answer telephone calls as well, because this particular vehicle, most of these XJs, you can see the button here with the phone on it. It's very easy to operate. You can drop a call with a button behind here, or pick up a call. You can divert a call, which is very interesting. And on the right hand side of the steering wheel, we have the cruise control. So you've got the set, plus, minus. You can accelerate or decelerate, as the case may be. But it's all here on the vehicle. Yeah, it's got most things. It's got loads of extras, which realistically, you know, half of them you don't tend to use, but they're there in case you do want to use them. Very plush and very simple vehicle to use. Talking about the phone, it's not got Bluetooth, but what it does have in this particular vehicle, if I lift this center console lid up, it's got a phone here, a phone set. Now Jaguar supplied different types of phones in this model year, the XJ8, which is a 308. Some of them had a shorter phone which you can take out and use as a mobile. This particular one is wired up, so I just put a SIM card in there and I use it as normal, so I don't have to touch it. I can dial numbers, but I don't have to touch it. I can just answer calls coming through. So what we'll do next is we'll take you around the car. We'll take you around the outside, and I'll show you in the engine bay, and I'll show you inside the car, the seating and so on. Talked about the cruise control. The cruise control is controlled literally by the 2 buttons here. You can see the one with the clock looking like figure on that button. So literally you can just press the button. When it lights up, you can set your cruise control on your steering wheel to the speed you want. The other button here is the sport button. So basically what that does, it holds you in the gear a bit longer. And this particular XJR has what they call CATS suspension. And the CATS suspension is monitoring the cornering and the speed of the vehicle every split second. So if you're going into a corner at relative speed, the weight of the vehicle would normally sort of want to roll, but it actually senses the speed of the vehicle and it stiffens up the suspension so that you don't roll, and it causes more stability. So to show you the difference between the normal XJ308, the XJ8 and the XJR, the differences are the XJR has that lovely mesh grille. It's quite nice. It has a body colour grille surround, and the other XJ8 Executive and Sovereigns have this in chrome, but they have a vertical fluted grille. The XJRs have this lovely type of mesh grille. Also, the car itself, if you come around here, it has a set of alloy wheels which are different again. It's got Pirelli P0 tyres on it. If you work your way around this side of the vehicle, I'll open this door and just take a little look at what happens when I open the door. It has this courtesy mode. I'll open the door, just watch what happens with the steering wheel and the driving seat. Just watch that. It actually moves out of your way. If I shut that again, it goes back into its program position. So when I open that, it actually lifts the steering wheel up, draws the seat back, and then you can get in and out of the vehicle without a problem. Then looking into the back of the vehicle, you can see, obviously, this particular model of Jaguar, it's a standard length. It's not the long wheelbase version. The long wheelbase version of this gives you an extra 6 inches in length for knee room, but this is the standard, so it's adequate, and I can get in and out of there without a problem. It has a central armrest, but it's all full leather and very well appointed, and the colour scheme is oatmeal and sable. So I'm going to actually show you inside the engine bay. So we'll undo the bonnet. On the Jaguars, the XJ8 308 always open up this way around. You can see this is the V8 supercharged, as I mentioned earlier, and you can see the supercharged unit sits on top of the engine, and gives you that extra performance, extra acceleration over the standard Jaguar XJ8 8-cylinder. So I'm just going to show you something. This is quite unique. First of all, by the way, this is the top of the cat suspension. You can see that there is a cable there which is connecting into the strut at the front. Same on that side as well. There are caps on the top, and basically that is the electronics inside the actual strut itself. So it's monitoring every second, as I mentioned, to help with the performance. This is quite a unique thing here. This is a little bit of a toolkit, which Jaguar always tend to have. I've never used this since I've had the vehicle for over 10 years now, but I think I need to clean one or two of those items up in there. But yeah, it's quite a useful little thing, and it just clips, the lid just clips on there, which is quite nice. You've got a set here of the fuse boxes. You've got a main fuse box here. There's also a set of fuses, believe it or not, stashed behind the rear seat, the kickboards in the footwell, and there's another set of fuses stashed in the boot. And the actual size of the battery for this car is quite huge. It's quite immense. It's quite a heavy duty battery, about that big, quite heavy. It needs to be because of the size of the engine it has to turn over. So I'll quietly shut this bonnet. The actual car itself is in very good order. They do tend to rust around the wheel arches by the mud flaps that get put on. This has started to do that, so I've got that to do very, very shortly. So now let's take you around the whole of the car. As you can see, the car is long, it's sleek looking, it's very low to the ground, but a very, very nice looking vehicle. Spent a bit of time actually giving her a bit of a polish, and she looks really good. When you swing round from the back round to the front again, you can see the length of it, and as you come round to the front, you can see the long bonnet, which houses that lovely supercharged engine. So that's a tour of my XJR 2002. I hope you enjoyed it, and ask you to watch this space. There's going to be plenty more on different vehicles that I'm testing and telling you a bit more about. So do remember to follow my page, and make sure that you keep on subscribing. Thank you very much.